Hi, welcome to the Recovery Daily Podcast. This is your host, Rachel Miller. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today I'm going to talk about the transformative power of daily gratitude. And I know I talk about this a lot, but one of my loyal listeners, Emily, she let me know that she has started doing daily gratitudes, and she has a buddy that she does this with. And I thought that that was such a great idea. I have been practicing daily gratitudes for several years, and I do it with some folks in my sobriety program. And Emily expressed that she reached out to a friend and she decided she's going to do this as well. So, not a part of a sobriety program, but something that she wanted to try to build that muscle, of doing this daily gratitude. So, I was really excited about that and thought I'm going to do another episode on gratefuls. I don't remember, honestly, if I've done a full episode just on gratefuls, so I decided I would do that. So, it seems like it is in our nature to recognize everything that we're missing in our lives, what we lack rather than what we have. So, by adopting a lifestyle change where we pivot our focus towards abundance, can be very transformative to our well-being. It has been for me. I'm living proof. So as we settle into this year, a habit that I practice, that I talk about a lot, and that I advocate for, has dramatically improved my quality of life, is just acknowledging 3 things every day that I'm grateful for. When I got into my sobriety program, my sponsor at the time suggested that that I do this every day. I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And it took me a long time to make it a habit, and I realized later, so I'm sharing this with you so you don't have to realize it later, the easiest way for me to do it was to find a time in my day, the same time every day, to record my gratefuls. And at first I was just trying to remember it, at some time during the day to send her my 3 things I was grateful for, and I just kept forgetting. So it wasn't until I started doing it before my head hit the pillow that it became a habit, because that's all I was missing was that associated time in my day where nothing else was happening, and that I knew that this is what I have to do before I go to sleep. And it became a daily habit. It really requires minimal effort. I do it before my head hits the pillow, so it has to require minimal effort because I'm tired right before I'm about to lay down. So that's proof. But it really has the potential to rewire our brains to seek and celebrate positivity, even on days that, you don't really feel like you can find anything to be grateful for, anything that's positive, that there's days like that. And it stretches my capacity to recognize the good and growth. And I really believe that it is one of the reasons that I finally was able to take that one walk that one time and be like, and stop in my tracks and say, this is what serenity feels like. Nothing is bothering me at this very moment in time. Nothing is wrong. And I had never felt that way before. And I believe that gratitude was one of the reasons why I was able to finally feel that. So I think that this practice can be seamlessly added to as a routine to with little disruption, if any, to your current existence on this planet. I really do, and I think it really makes it has the ability to have a profound impact on your outlook of things. So I chose to do this gratitude practice. Number one, because my sorry, I can't think of the word. My Oh my gosh, the word is just not there. It's coming. We're gonna struggle through this together. My sponsor. There it is. I got it. My sponsor told me to, and when I first got sober, I took all suggestions. Well, not the first time I got sober. First time I got sober, I didn't take all suggestions, so I didn't stay sober. The second time, I did take all suggestions, and I am still sober from that moment on. So I'm going to keep doing it. So she told me to, so that's what I did. But it wasn't about just being appreciative for material things, you know? It's really became a catalyst for change in my life. And there's research all over the web about how expressing gratitude can enhance our overall well being. It can improve our relationships and our physical health and all that stuff. It's very true, and I am proof of that. But it also shifts our perspective and builds this resilience that for me was unexpected with just a little bit of work. And it's like pulling back the curtains on whatever is stressing me out and really looking like a needle in a haystack, looking for opportunities for growth that are tucked away in each challenge. And when I take the time to acknowledge those tiny little itty bitty good things around me, even when I don't feel like it, I'm practicing mindfulness. I'm grounding myself and not allowing my head to spin out of control and get wrapped around the axle about whatever the thing is that's bothering me. I feel like practicing gratitude allows me to be fully present. That time before I go to bed, I have also found is the most important time for me to release that stuff that has me, wrapped around the axle. That's the time when I want to take all that stuff and stick it on my nightstand. So that is part of the process of putting my problems on my nightstand so that I can just go to sleep without them. They'll be there when I wake up in the morning. And it allows me to not only put them on my nightstand, but find something good that's left behind when I put the problems on my nightstand. So this mindfulness in turn allows me to it reduces my stress and anxiety level so that I can fall asleep, really. But over time, it has allowed me to reduce my stress and anxiety as a whole, not just when I'm going to sleep. It becomes like this practice that happens not just before I'm going to bed. It's like becomes a muscle memory. When I'm feeling stressed, I know that I need to find something good. There is something good in this. There is some lesson to be learned in all of this. And the gratitudes help to navigate challenges and navigate unexpected tornadoes that just plow through your life sometimes. And practice, practice, practice when everything is fine, so that when everything is not fine, some of your reactions, if you can't pause and you actually react out of emotion, some of that reaction is that muscle memory where you are finding the good, or finding some sort of peace in whatever's going on. And I'm talking about this because it has happened for me. And I just want to share that with other people, because I think that having healthy reactions to things, as I have experienced recently, has just reduced the amount of energy I have had to spend on unpleasant emotions. So, things are starting to become a little bit second nature. It's practice, not perfection, but the more I practice it, it seems like it just feels good. It's starting to do it on its own without me having to try so hard. But it it also just plain old allows me to celebrate something in the present always, before I go to bed. And it carves out this pathway, I think, for joy to surface more often in my life. Um, so how do you make this a habit? And it really starts with intention, really committing to wanting to do this on a daily basis. So making that decision that this is what you're going to do. And like I said, I do this before I lay my head on the pillow. That's my order of things. I like to do it before I lay my head down on my pillow, because as soon as my pillow hits, or my head hits the pillow, it's game over after that. Like I'm done with my day. So I make sure that I send when I was doing it over text, send my text to my gratitude buddies before I lay down. And it's something that I want to put some effort into. I've talked about that. I don't want to just be like, I'm grateful I have shoes. I'm grateful that I had spaghetti tonight. I'm great. They don't have to be monumental though. Uh, the warmth of the sun on your face. I'm grateful for a thoughtful message I got from a friend, or I'm grateful for the warmth of my fireplace. These small acknowledgments are absolutely worthy of our gratitude. And what I have found is that for me, by noticing the small things, they begin to ripple out into acknowledging the big things, like cause and effect. So I feel the warmth of the sun on my face because I'm healthy enough to take a walk outside. Or I received a thoughtful message from a friend because I'm 7 years sober and I have healthy relationships now. And I get to sit by the fireplace because I have a good job that pays well. Well, right now I don't have a job, but you know what I mean. So, the more you allow yourself to notice, the more that will reveal itself. That was my experience. The more that I looked for things to be grateful for, the easier it was, the easier that they just started coming to me. And it wasn't work. There absolutely were days that I thought, oh what in the world do I have to be grateful for right now? I'm too tired to be grateful, but I did it anyway. And that's when it really matters. So to solidify the practice, I recommend going through like the phases of habit formation, like you can set a journal and a pen maybe beside your bed as a physical reminder. I didn't write them down on a piece of paper because, well, we have phones, so I was texting it. And then what I would do to write my gratefuls down is write one sentence. And yes, it was a run on sentence for you English majors, but I would just write one sentence and include all three gratefuls inside the sentence. I have a sponsee who always, from the very beginning, and I think it's adorable, she numbers them 1, 2, 3. She says, I'm grateful for colon number 1 and says whatever it is, number 2, whatever it is, number 3. And so you can do it any way that you want it, of course. I like to do it in one sentence because it's just, I don't know, it feels good to me to do it that way. So then there's also growth, the growth that comes out of it, right? And it's not going to be, maybe it is, maybe it'll feel immediately good to you, but for sure, over time, you'll notice this shift in your mindset to like this lightness, I think, in your perception of things. And for me, I recognized even more the impermanence of challenges in my life. That, as things have been going on in this recovery with the stroke, with my new family member that I found out about, all of these, other people feeling emotions, me feeling emotions, and equating them to like sitting on the beach and watching the waves of emotions go by, all that stuff. I really have been able to see the impermanence of things, and that, like I said yesterday, when low tide comes, I'm still sitting in the exact same spot in the sand. And it's really been enlightening for me. So if you decide to start doing gratitudes with a buddy, it really helps, I think, in the realm of having accountability, but also this shared satisfaction that you guys are accomplishing something that you've set out to do. So just texting each other your list before you go to bed can be a really comforting end to the day. You'll definitely learn a lot more about your gratitude buddy. And I find it a really helpful way to keep up with my sponsees and understand what's going on in their lives. So it's really positive for me in that way as well. So I think it's a way to reinforce the bond between you and that person that you may choose as a gratitude buddy. And like I said, there'll be days when writing down your gratefuls are going to feel like a chore, and when it seems like negativity is like all around you and gratitude, it takes work. But these are the days that the practice is most critical. I found that by pushing through that resistance and searching for even the tiniest glimmer of positivity, it was like creating some new neuro pathway, because it wasn't until after I pushed through those more difficult times of finding gratefuls that it started getting easier. So it's like training your brain, to find the light in the shadows. It's like just shifting your perspective. And you got to work at it, like building a muscle, like going to the gym. And it doesn't mean that life's not still not going to happen. Absolutely, life still happens, but it helps me deal with life a hell of a lot better than I did before I started doing gratefuls, like years and years ago, 7 years ago. And it helps me to, I'm making the choice to appreciate something that's good amidst all of the bad. And it helps me to understand that joy and sadness, or joy and anger, or joy and fear can coexist. That there is this underlying joy inside of me that I talk on the podcast about all the time, that it's still in there. It's always in there. It's just waiting for me to surface it. And I always have to deal with all of the other things that are getting in the way. And by empowering myself to choose to surface that joy, even during difficult times, it reinforces that idea that I talk about, that my emotions are choices. And I really believe that. And as I said yesterday, allowing my emotions to be a product of me rather than me being a product of my emotions. So building the muscle memory, allowing me to see strength and beauty in every experience, no matter how shitty it is. And things get really shitty. And it seems like it gets shitty all at the same time. Everything just big pile of shit. Sorry, but it just does. And this builds resilience for me, and an appreciation for being a human being and being alive. And I think, again, that serenity is a gift of gratitude, of practicing gratitude. So I challenge others. I try to talk about it to other people, like adopting this skill of writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual. All you have to do is be alive to do it. All you have to do is be a human being to write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And it's so good for you. So give it a try. Write down 3 gratefuls. Share them with a buddy if you want to have some accountability and get to know somebody a little better. And I really believe that you'll see your life transform. And not because your circumstances are changing, but your perspective is changing. And I think that this is really, there's lots of people doing these New Year's resolutions. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I've never been a fan of them. If I'm going to do something to change my life, I'm going to do it today. I'm not going to wait for the new year to come around. But if you're making a New Year's resolution, this is one that you can make. This can be that workout. Instead of promising yourself that you're going to go to the gym, promise yourself that you're going to exercise your gratitude, exercise your mind and your brain, and build new pathways to create this this automatic reaction because that's what I feel like mine has started to become, this automatic reaction of when something bad is happening or something is challenging or unexpected or anything like that, that I start looking for, what is it? What am I going to learn from this? What is the lesson? Again, it's not easy sometimes. I'm not perfect at it, but it's absolutely changed my life to do this. So I just wanted to share again and see if I can get a few more people on board for gratitude practice. So thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you tomorrow.